Hello everyone, it's Richard Lewis here, and we've been covering this CSGO gambling story quite extensively, as you can see from my YouTube channel. We did say we were going to break some news. That's what we're doing on this video. For those of you who don't know or who stumble across this channel, I've been a journalist for a long period of time. I've been an esports journalist for about a decade. I've broken multiple big stories, including most famously probably the iBuyPower match fixing scandal in CSGO. And during the course of the gambling story as it developed, it became clear that there were people that were up to no good that maybe weren't getting the attention that they deserved. Now, I want to say right at the start of this video, I absolutely do not condone hacking. I do not condone invasions into people's privacy. That is not what I am about. I have never engaged in those practices. I never would. However, we were approached by a hacker and who wanted to remain anonymous, who had been trying to hack into the website CSGOShuffle for financial gain. And he was very brazen about it. He said that it was basically a combination of his hobby and also the opportunity to be able to maybe inject some malicious code or obtain some information which would allow him to skim some money off the top of his profits. Now, during that time period, he compromised the Skype of the coder and founder, somebody called Joris, and he logged into this Skype and monitored this Skype over a period of months. And he only stopped when the password was changed for unknown reasons in round about January this year. He kept all of these logs and had been hoping to use them for something. It never materialized. An opportunity for him never manifested. And in the end, with all of this gambling stories being covered in the media, he reached out to me to provide me these logs. I have looked at these logs intently. I have verified exchanges, dates, screenshots contained within. I am absolutely convinced they are 100% genuine. Everything in them holds up. And otherwise, I wouldn't be making this video. And as I will say at the end, I will make these logs available to any journalist that wants to cover this story so they can look at them and independently verify their authenticity. Just a few words about who Joris is. Joris is a coder that we understand is from France. He is somebody who has been involved heavily in the skins, betting, and trading business. You can see here he has a list of domain names associated with his email, which is also used in these logs, including things like csgopricing.net, csgomorpion.com. You can go right the way through, csgotictactoe.info. These are all sites he has registered specifically with the intent of having businesses around this scene. Now, in these logs, Joris, who publicly fronts as the owner of CSGOShuffle, which we know is a gambling site that Phantoml0rd has used and advertised extensively, he were passed on chat logs, their exchanges between Phantoml0rd and Joris. There are over 1,800 messages going back to the summer of last year, and me and Sam, my producer, have scoured all of them, and we're now going to present the choicest, the most incriminating exchanges that heavily imply wrongdoing on the part of Phantoml0rd. Now, over the course of this video, we will show you exchanges that heavily suggest, almost to a degree of certainty, that Phantoml0rd is the owner of CSGOShuffle. That on top of that, he has gambled exclusively with house money taken from the business. That he has also held meeting with other betting sites to discuss methodology, and also that he has asked Joris, the site coder, for percentages of rolls to increase his outcomes of winning and or losing, as he wants to do appropriately for his own personal gain. We will start with proof of ownership. I feel that is the most important. part of this story. If you look here on September the 17th in these logs, you will see Phantoml0rd and Joris having a conversation talking about the business and business practice and how to get around UK gambling laws. Phantoml0rd says, so yeah, we find keep this and carry on like normal. People will VP on if they want to play, and if they take any further action, we lawyer up and take them head on. You're fine. They don't have any laws on this specifically, acting as a secondary currency, and I know this because of the other business partners I speak with. It's a gray area, not regulated at all around the world. If they want to take action, that's something they'll have to do versus Valve. And then he goes on, and you can see that in terms of licensing, he says it's $6,000 a year, plus depending how much you make, to get a license to do it legally. Phantoml0rd says those faggots just want a piece of the pie, and you can see here quite clearly from this exchange, he is talking as if he is the owner of the business. If he was just sponsored, why would he be talking about licensing? On December the 9th, he also talks about how it is exclusively his business. Him and Joris had something of an argument. And you can see in this exchange, Joris is saying to him, well, first of all, Phantoml0rd says to him, you still don't understand how far we've come and that I deserve some respect for that. You obviously don't get it. This shit doesn't go to me if it get lost in the pots. It's for our benefit, not all about business, bro. Yes, but now there's still people to play when you're not here, says Joris. And then Phantoml0rd goes, again, you are not listening to me. It's impossible to judge the data straight with advertising. Only trust in that it's my fucking job and that the site flows well because I've done a good job. So again, he is talking as if he is an owner of this website. Numerous times over the course of their exchanges, he refers to the business as us and the business as we, or the business as ours. And that's when he's talking expressly about CSGOShuffle. Then we have Phantoml0rd making payments to Joris, which again heavily implies ownership. You can see on the 20th of July, Phantoml0rd asks Joris for his bank's address, city, state, and province. Joris says everything is in the cell dock on the drive. And he says, no, I need the address of your bank. I also need your account number. I just want to verify. So he talks here expressly about getting his bank details to make a payment to him. And in that exchange, another reason why we believe these logs to be genuine to 100% certainty is that Joris provides his bank details. We have blanked out the offending items that may allow people to locate him. But trust me, these details are here. We have ran checks on the internet. This all tallies up. And you can even see there in the message to recipient, it is a CSGOShuffle payment that is being made to Joris very expressly there. On it goes. On July the 28th, also in regards to the payments, Phantoml0rd expresses in block capitals, hey dude, guess what? The check went through, woo, and another $20,000 on the way via wire transfer. Joris says he hasn't had the money. Phantoml0rd says it has been deducted from his account, and it should be any day now that Joris will receive it. Again, why is Phantoml0rd making these payments to the coder and founder of this website? It doesn't end there. We also can see that on August the 21st, Joris confirms that a check went through. We are unable to deduce from these logs whether or not it is another check or whether it is the check that was outstanding. Seems unlikely given the length of time that Phantoml0rd said it has left his bank. So perhaps multiple payments have been made here. All of those things heavily imply site ownership. This is proof that he also played with house money while also implying that there is ownership. You can see Phantoml0rd is streaming. He says he has 24,000 viewers, 0 items to bet with. Give me some of my bot, please, and this time not 2 bets worth. Joris says, yeah, what about routing all the skins we earn to you so that you can bet them all? In other words, Joris is getting a bit snippy that Phantoml0rd is betting these skins. Joris is worried about his share of the profits. Phantoml0rd continues, no point in giving me attitude and not wanting to capitalize on a unique moment of massive advertising is silly. You should know better. Besides, look at where Care and I have brought you to. Don't forget to be friendly and help us out in return, even if moments don't make sense. It's not your decision only, you just happen to be in control of it. So give me skins so I can advertise to 26,000 plus people. Joris responds with, yeah, it was not my decision to use 10% of what we earn to advertise. Phantoml0rd responds, you know that can be broken a bit, yeah? And that's not a big deal to do so, yeah? Joris responds with, you know it's already broken. Phantoml0rd continues, and you know how well we're still doing. On it goes, and you can see there, Phantoml0rd again asks for more skins. Joris says, I sent you 2K yesterday, and you used it all in 2 pots back to back, and apparently it was not enough for you. Phantoml0rd ends with, I don't know, man. Working with you has become a problem sometimes. Again, suggesting heavily the working relationship between the 2 parties. He also asked for skins on November 24th. But what is interesting about this particular exchange between Phantoml0rd and Joris isn't that he just says, I'm out of skins, I need more, and for the bot to not give me such expensive ones, I need many but smaller amounts like $50, because it can all be lost in 1 to 3 bets. He points to the syndicate site that we now know very much about, CSGO Lotto, and he also says CSGO Wild by the FaZe guys. He says, I'm talking to both, looking into what they're doing, and if it's a threat or not. We need to launch the achievements, different dollar max groups. So here we can see that he not only knew how these sites were operating and didn't say anything publicly, but that he also talked to these people about methodology while also trying to ascertain whether or not they were a threat to his business. On it goes, and you can see here that he asked for percentages of roles. Now, we must stress, we do not know the inner workings of CSGOShuffle. We have a very cursory understanding about how it works. But this is somebody who has asked multiple times for the percentages of roles, and we believe in the exchanges between him and Joris, it shows that this was done to rig outcomes. We've picked out the more incriminating ones. There were multiple examples of him asking for percentages of roles. We start on July 31st. You can see that not only is Phantoml0rd again referring to the legal process, we would assume that is something to do with the business, and again, would probably imply heavily he was the owner. But you can see further down, he asks for percentages. He says there, you can see Joris gives him a percent after he asks for one, then another, then another. We move on to the next day, August the 2nd. Again, he asks for percentages. Then after that, again, he asks for more percentages. This continues. We have another example of him asking for percentages here. You can see Joris has to apologize at times as he cannot keep up with the requests for the percentages. There are a few more of these. Then crucially, by the time it gets to August the 28th, this is where things seem to take a bit of a more incriminating turn. You can see here Phantoml0rd says, hey, gonna bet some rounds to gain a few skins for today's stream. Let me know when you can help me out. This now implies directly that the percentages are linked to the chances of winning or losing. And he says, I'd like to fail snipe around. Tell me when the percentage is low. This again points to the percentage being directly linked to the outcome. The percentage is passed on. Phantoml0rd says, K, thanks, and then says he's bumping the chat because he's about to stream. He bumps the chat to prevent any potential mistakes while on stream of showing this chat log, which again suggests that it is incriminating. Then we move on to August the 30th. And you can see you should have it in a few seconds, more like 5 minutes. KK, then Phantoml0rd says, by the way, if you can delete in my history anything around the first 50 rounds and below, it's really bad that it shows I have entered the number 1 round. To summarize this is Phantoml0rd asking for his betting history to be altered because he feels it looks bad that he has entered the number 1 round, the winning round, and has won big. While those two exchanges are perhaps the most incriminating, after that, on September the 3rd, there are more percentages. The increase in volume of requests for percentages are noted, and we believe that these do indeed alter the outcomes and likelihood of the betting. Now, we think this is all a very strong and compelling case. We feel all this evidence is very robust. I myself have put it through some rigorous scrutiny. This hasn't been taken lightly. I know Phantoml0rd personally. I have met him a few times. He has always been a personable guy. He is somebody that I have always respected. I've covered multiple stories involving him. I've been sympathetic when he has been swatted. I am disappointed if all of this is true. I will make these logs fully available to any journalist who wants to cover this story so they can scrutinize them in the same way that I did. And I will also extend an open invitation to Phantoml0rd to come and explain these because I would like this to be wrong. I have already reached out to Phantoml0rd. Unfortunately, we have not found an opportunity where we can speak. But again, I extend that invitation again today. So that ends the video. There is, of course, more. The chat logs are extensive. We have other exchanges from Joris that are also incriminating in regards to this shady business of gambling and skins. We will possibly make that public as is appropriate. But mainly, thank you for watching this video. We do not want people to be out there defrauding consumers. We do not want people out there to be misrepresenting their businesses. We do not support that in any way, shape, or form. Thanks very much for watching. We will see you on the next video.